Introduction, Inspirations for Peaceful Living.
We know, just as long as you know who you are, you don't have to worry about anybody calling anything outside of your name. And with self-determination, you can treat yourself, not cheat yourself. Because sometimes we're so busy trying to love on one another, but yet we don't love ourselves. And we are like the root of the tree. If the root isn't good, the tree's not going to bloom. And you should have self-love, not self-hate. And follow your dreams, even upstream. When you think about it.
Before we can dream again. Matthew 24:36 in the NIV. But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. Thought for the day. The Lord never promised us a rose garden, but He will help us bear our burdens. You are needed to fulfill His purpose. You are a part of His plan.
Each day granted to us has its own sets of rules. What happened yesterday may not be experienced the following day. One person might find the day gorgeous and another sees gloom and doom. Life can be challenging based on the inconsistencies of each day. Sunshine one minute, rain the next. It is our experiences or points of view which determine our outlook and manageability.
Such a blessing, and I just love everybody. You know, everybody here plays such a great part in my life. Thank you guys so much. And I don't want to forget what I wrote about Pat, because she's looking at me like, don't forget it, don't forget it. Yes, I wrote about Pat also. And how I met Pat, I went somewhere and I saw an article about this woman that owns her own radio station. And I'm like, you know what, I gotta meet her. So when I went to the station, she was there by herself and she was just maneuvering the board and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I was so amazed. I'm like, oh my God. So we became friends ever since then. And that was about 3-4 years ago.
I didn't open this building up for this type of event or any event. This was supposed to have been a place for me to come to work. And all of these pictures you see on the wall, they were at my house. Some in the garage, some in the truck. It's all a blessing for me. Just amazing. You know, just, I would say this, I am not a prejudiced person, but to see our people and to see us in the city of Stone Mountain doing stuff.
She is truly an inspiration. When I first met her, I walked into the office and she met me and greeted me with a smile. And every time I see her, she greets me with that same smile, that same heartfelt love. It's just welcoming to just walk in, be in her environment, period, no matter where she is. So when I got the text message, she wasn't aware that I was coming, but it's truly a blessing for me to actually be here.
Yeah, it sure is.
That I never got.
Latoya, L-A, capital T-O-Y-A.
Stays in their house.
Last name? Shine, S-H-I-N-E.
Wow.
And S-H-I-N-E.
Yeah, like sunshine.
That was from my teammates. I played in Dallas and I played in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. My son was
Do you? What's up, man? I'm Byron. Nice to meet you.
That's my baby.
You mean what? I thought it was security.
What I envision is, I guess I was going to do this. Okay. You know, I'm a crybaby, those are the. But anyway, what I envision is like a prophet in the Bible that in his journey, the Lord orchestrated people to be in his path. Somebody is there to feed him. Somebody is there to give him a place to rest. And in writing this book, that's how I felt. For example, the young lady that's doing my marketing, she's a client of my daughter, because my daughter is a beautician. And for whatever reason, I just said to her, you know what, I'm writing a book. And she said to me, you know what, I'll do your marketing. And she comes to the house all the time, and we never ever talk about a book or, you know, anything like that. So I'm like, wow, the Lord is really paving the way for me. And she did an excellent job, and, you know, we came up with the title Bond of Gold. So that's what, you know, my book is done under. But I thank God for that. And then another client, she told me that she had known somebody that does editing. And there she edited the book. And the gentleman that did my first book also did the second book. And it's just on and on and on. I could label and indicate how many people were there to help me. And today it shows how much, you know, people love me. I know, they may not say it, but I know they do. And I also have another group of friends, two groups of friends really. One is called the Power Black Sisters. How does it go? Hallelujah.
Powerful Black Sisters at the Round Table.
Yes, thank you. And you know, in life there's always things to do. And quite naturally today, the sisters had a meeting at a strategic planning event. So most of them are there. But I know I feel them in spirit, and I thank you for representing. And the other group that I'm with is Visionary Women. And they were there last time I did my signing, which was 2011, and they're back again today. I love you guys, and thank you. And this is not all about me. It's about, you know, this loving on one another, because the world is so messed up right now that we have to come together. And that's the only way we have strength. So, you know, let's try to love on one another, because so many people are going through a lot and they need somebody to even say a kind word. So, you know, just love on one another, because the way America is going, I don't know about Japan and, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, just thank you. And I thank Antoinette for coming back again. You know, so. Anybody have any questions or want to say anything or introduce yourselves or anything like that?
I have a question.
Oh, yes, darling.
How long did it take you to write?
This book, I did it within, say, 6 months. Yes, because, you know, I write all the time, and I have all these thoughts, and I thought to myself, the greatest place where there's a lot of untapped talents and untold stories, the graveyard. So I said I wanted at least to share with others what it is the Lord put in my heart. And I thought about how, you know, we have to listen to that quiet voice, because the Lord doesn't yell at us. He speaks quietly, and we have to learn how to listen to that word and understand that word. So I felt that, you know, He put this within me to write this and to share with somebody else. Because I have like 5 or 6 notebooks I haven't even touched yet. So, you know, so that's how I decided to write it, and it took me about 6 months. Yeah, and I had something different in mind. I was gonna write about people that have gone through a lot and yet they withstood, such as Oprah Winfrey and Colonel Sanders, because he was turned on 101 times when he was bringing his recipe to others. You know, so that's what I started with. But it was taking so much research and so much time, so I just, you know, gravitated to this method of writing. So, yes, ma'am.
Do you plan to write again?
Yes, ma'am. I have a children book in mind, in that my grandson, he has special needs or what have you. So I was going to write a book encompassing that, because you know, as people of color, really, we don't really tell about our situations. So I feel since I'm living it and I've never experienced it before, I'll write a book about it. And because, you know, my grandbaby, he's a sweetheart. He beat me up, but I love him anyway, you know. So, you know, that was my first experience of actually being close to, you know, that situation. You hear about these things, but you never really come close to it. So, yes. Where's my baby? Oh, he's being quiet now. Any other questions? All right, come on. You know, Miss Foster is half full, half deaf and full crazy.
When to expect the next book?
When do I expect to write the book? Oh, how soon? As soon as I get like a little breather from this. I already have the layout. I'm trying to find somebody to do the graphics for me and things like that. So yeah. So I say within the next year, Lord's willing. Yes, ma'am.
Where are we at?
Say it again. Oh yes, I did. Oh yes, I want to thank Mr. Parker for allowing us this facility. I was going by one day. I come this way a lot because I walk the mountains, and I just so happened to stop, and I look in here and it was so beautiful. And I asked Jamelia, my coworker, I said I would love a place to do my book signing, and she mentioned Mr. Parker, and I called him, and he said, you know what? I've never had a book signing here before, but you'll be the first. So thank you so much. And all the artwork. All this artwork is done by him. And I did mention to him that I wanted to do a book and to do the graphics or whatever. But he said, it's kind of challenging, right? Yeah, it's kind of challenging to. Go ahead and speak, sir.
Just thank you all for coming for one. Welcome. But that's all I really have to say.
No. Okay, yeah. So I thank you so much, and but like I said, I mentioned to him what my intentions were, but he doesn't really do that for books or what have you. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make a comment about you as a person. I know Maureen through her being in the Visionary Women group. I'm one of the members, and you are the most encouraging one. You always come to the group with late, but smiles.
Ours too. We know she coming down.
And you have such a wonderful disposition, always happy. You bring encouraging notes, we have something copied for us, and it's information that we need to know or should know, and things to encourage us. So I love you, we love you, and thanks you so much for what you do. Your first book we have, and to buy the second. And my sister bought it from you, and she read through it the different days, and she says that it is a wonderful book. She loves the things that you said in it. So we appreciate you, Maureen, and obviously by the people who are here, for your signing, and just keep on doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.